Welcome back to another Battlefront update. We've got some exciting news everyone, as the long-awaited community transmission for Titan mode has landed today, despite facing several delays in the last few days alone. In this transmission, we not only learned the official name for Titan mode, but also what the mode and era it will take place on, as will the mode's complete objectives and the overall full details for the mode. With that all out of the way, let's get into it. First things first, the official name for the mode is Capital Supremacy. And the goal for Capital Supremacy is to win the planetary battle, gain access to the opposing team's capital ship, and destroy it. When players first deploy into a game of Capital Supremacy, they'll begin planetside. From here, they'll have to take control of several command posts that are scattered around the planet. Which command posts you go after is entirely up to you. Although choose carefully, because while you're off capturing a command post, the opposing team will also be doing the same. The choice between attack versus defense is one that you and your teammates will have to make. Once you capture command posts, your team will gain reinforcement tickets. Once you have the required number, your transport ships will arrive. When this happens, you'll have a short amount of time to make your way onto the transports. And then once boarding the transports, your team will begin the assault upon the opposing team's capital ship. From here, you'll have to set multiple timed charges across the ship. Should you be successful in destroying the enemy's capital ship, the game will end and your team will be designated as the winners. However, if you make it onto the enemy capital ship but fail to destroy it, the battle will return to the surface of the planet, where you have to repeat the process and attempt to capture the command posts all over again. And the game will only end when someone's capital ship has been destroyed. But that was the general overview of the mode to give you an idea what it's about. Now let's get into the specifics. As Capital Supremacy is not like any game mode that's currently available within Star Wars Battlefront 2, as it comes with its own rules and gameplay style. In terms of player count, Capital Supremacy will be a 20v20 game mode, meaning up to 40 player controlled units battle it out in total. But in addition to this, there will also be 12v12 AI-controlled units during the planetary phase of the battle, as DICE made this big decision to include AI as they wanted to capture the scale of the Clone Wars, while at the same time not diminishing the odds of the player playing as one of the iconic heroes. This is kind of similar to how DICE use AI within Starfighter Assault to add to the scale and the feeling of heroism as you cut through them. And this also means when the battle is taking place within the ground phase, there will be 2 teams of 32 engaged in combat. Although when the battle escalates to one of the capital ships, this will then be downscaled to 20v20 as there won't be any AI units within the capital ships. In total, there will be 5 command posts to capture in Capital Supremacy, all of which start in a neutral state. Command posts are placed throughout the planetary surface and can be captured in any order. Holding the majority of command posts progresses your team's attack on the enemy capital ship by earning tickets. Once a team has earned enough tickets, their transports will arrive. For every person that reaches the transport in time, that team will receive extra tickets for their attack upon the enemy capital ship. The attack on the capital ship occurs in 2 sub-phases. First, the attacking team have to override one of the 2 doors, and from there they'll have to plant a device to destroy the critical ship systems of the capital ship. Meanwhile, the defending team can interact and stop the detonator timer from progressing, although they are unable to reset it, so every second counts. Once the timer is complete and both power generators have been destroyed, the game is over. Remember, the attacking team only has a limited amount of tickets during the assault phase upon the capital ship. Should this ticket count reach to 0 before they've destroyed the critical systems, the combat will return to the planetary surface. Now, seeing as Capital Supremacy takes place within the Clone Wars era, the 2 capital ships will be the Venator for the Galactic Republic and the Dreadnought for the Separatists. The key areas on the Venator to keep an eye out are the cargo bay and the reactor core. Meanwhile, the key areas of interest while aboard the Dreadnought are the deployment bay and the cooling vent room. It's also important to outline that this mode will only be era locked to the Clone Wars era, meaning that players will not be able to use heroes from any other eras like Luke Skywalker or Rey in this mode. Instead, the light side will only be able to use Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Yoda, and Chewbacca, while the dark side will only have General Grievous, Count Dooku, Darth Maul, and Bossk. At release, Capital Supremacy will be playable on a new area of Geonosis called Pipeline Junction West, as well of course the 2 capital ship interiors. The new location, Pipeline Junction West, features rolling sand dunes, strange cliff formations, areas of contaminated and toxic waste, and a mysterious boneyard where you'll find remains of large creatures from across the galaxy. And I don't know about you, but this sounds exactly like the left area of the Geonosis map that was previously closed off in Galactic Assault. And if you didn't know, I actually visited and explored this area in my Geonosis exploration video I did a while back. So if you want to see and get a good idea of what the Capital Supremacy map will look like, I recommend checking out that video. So, as you can see, the mode was pretty much exactly as I explained it from before, with some minor changes due to the limitations of Battlefront 2. And that's mainly because the mode is pretty much exactly step-by-step the Titan mode from Battlefield 2142, which explains the internal codename for Capital Supremacy being Titan mode after all. Personally, I'm really excited at the prospect of getting the play of the AI ground troops in an actual multiplayer game, as this is something I've wanted to see happen in a long time, and I think it's a smart move by DICE to do this to help make the battle feel much more larger than it is, as they unfortunately aren't able to adjust the human player numbers any more than 40. But now I'm both curious and wondering about how the AI will actually play, because if it's anything like the AI in Arcade where they just stand around like mindless zombies waiting to be hit, then I don't think the AI in Capital Supremacy will add anything exciting to the gameplay. But having said that, I'm hopeful that DICE have made the proper adjustments to them to avoid exactly that from happening. And if anything, I think these are maybe the same AI that were made for the large-scale offline mode that some_info talked about. So yeah, now that I think about it, maybe these AIs should be fine. We're just gonna have to find out. As for whether or not we'll be getting Capital Supremacy in other maps and eras, DICE have stated that they can't comment on this, which shouldn't fill us with confidence. So this could go either way, meaning we could get new maps and eras to the mode in the future, or not. And I really hope that isn't the case, because if we're not getting new maps and eras to the mode, then this mode is not gonna last long in my opinion. And if that's the case, then this mode is just gonna be one massive disappointment. I'm a firm believer that this mode is supposed to bring new life to the game, but unless the mode is as good as it could be, then I don't see that happening. And I really don't like saying that. But to be honest, it doesn't seem like DICE themselves are sure of this, and that might be a reason why they don't want to comment on something they don't even know the answer to themselves. But it might just depend on if EA chooses to invest any more money into Battlefront content or not, or at least even half of what they're investing into Battlefield 5 content. But overall, I'm excited to play this mode as it sounds exactly what I've been expecting and wanting to play. Although I unfortunately can't see this replacing Galactic Assault anytime soon until DICE add more maps and eras to it. Now, I don't want to sound too negative here, but we basically almost waited a year for this mode, and after so many delays, all we get is a mode with only one map. This right here is the perfect representation of just how much the small indie-sized team at DICE were able to get done during that amount of time. But like the old saying goes, beggars can't be choosers. And the funny thing is, there was also a chance that we wouldn't have gotten this mode in the first place, as Benwalk revealed on Twitter not long ago that DICE actually were instead prototyping a Battle Royale mode to Battlefront 2 a while back. And after seeing that, it's crazy to think about that had they decided to go with that, then today we'd be talking about a Battle Royale mode coming to Battlefront 2 next week instead of Capital Supremacy. And I don't know how I'd feel about that. Personally, I'm glad that they chose the route that they did, as I'd rather be capturing command posts in my Battlefront 2 than taking part in the Battle Royale. But I'm sure other people may feel differently about this, so let me know in the comments below if you would have preferred to get a Battle Royale mode over Capital Supremacy instead. On that note, Benwalk also stated that there is a chance we could even see a brand new roadmap still released in March. This will of course outline all the new content arriving to Battlefront 2 later this year, such as new maps, new heroes, and maybe, hopefully, new weapons and the offline large-scale game mode. Now, seeing as Battlefield 5 just got their new roadmap released today, it's safe to say that Battlefront 2's new roadmap isn't that far off either. But then again, Battlefield 5 doesn't even have that many delays of their community broadcasts, their version of their community transmissions. And so, just looking at that alone, it's hard to say if there's even a guarantee of a roadmap in March for us. All we know right now is that DICE have finalized one and are attempting to push one out for this month. But whether we get it this month is a different story. And after seeing just how much the community transmission for Capital Supremacy alone kept getting delayed, I wouldn't be surprised if we had to wait until April to see the new roadmap. Oh, and whatever you do, don't look at the Battlefield 5 roadmap, as they're not only getting 3 new maps, but also not 1 but 2 new modes as well. Which, yeah, really makes you realize just how much less content we're getting for Battlefront 2 as opposed to DICE's flagship title, Battlefield 5. Again, we can only hope that EA decide to invest more in Battlefront 2 in order to somewhat compare it to the fantastic live service Battlefield 5 is getting from DICE. And I think the success in Capital Supremacy will have a lot in deciding that. But that'll do it for this Battlefront update. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel to not only support it, but keep up with Star Wars news, gaming, and canon lore released every week. And consider following me on Twitter and Facebook to never miss out on the latest Star Wars related content. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.